I'm sitting creating some art today to try and express how the last few days have felt. I am currently dealing with my son's education plan and months worth of universal credit problems. I've only returned to study for a month less than, and all the problems that put me in hospital have started up again. And I need to show in a picture to try to share how it feels to cry data, that the tears never stop. The requests for institutional assessments, reviews and evidence for me and my family is never ending. And in the same way, when I'm in hospital, when I was sectioned last year, your distress is objectified in data. It's sanitised, cleaned up, neutralised. But that's what medical records are when you're a mental health patient. It's your distress objectified in digital institutional data. And I started out by cutting the pieces of paper with a pair of scissors, and it was too clean, it was too tidy, and I realised that in doing that, so the records that I'm using are an appointment letter for a character health appointment, which was supposed to have been this morning, which got cancelled an hour beforehand, and letters from my ICB and copies of my Care Act for my care assessment for my section 117. And this is just a small, tiny amount of the paper that I have accrued over months and years of my digital institutional data that in some way relates to my distress, my assessments of such. And all these things that I'm working on at the moment were either things that I'd thrown away and retrieved out the bin, or stuff that was in my scrap paper drawer. And in screwing the paper up, this is what I want to do with all this data in reality, but I can't. You have to keep it all, you have to have records, you have to keep your evidence. This is what I want to do to it. This is what it does to me as a person. And my well-being. And my life. This is what it does to me. And then it tosses you out and expects you to get on with it. It's so in screwing the paper up like I am. Not only is it going to give the eventual collage some volume and substance, because what I want to do is I want to build this up so it's not a flat piece of paper. I want it to be coming out at the person so they get a sense of perspective and volume when they see it. But it's also allowing me to process some of that anger and frustration and distress I am experiencing because of all the pressure that I am being put under at the moment by various institutions who all have their own requirements for evidence and assessment and reviews. But there's never any coordination between any of them. You just have to get on and try and do it yourself. And and you get no help if it's a care home. You know, the local authority will pay for a much greater fee than you get as a person managing direct payments. When you get direct payments, you have to do your own books and auditing and everything else. If you're a care home or a service provider, that's built into the hourly fee. But screwing this paper up and tearing it is allowing me to process how I'm feeling at the moment, which is horrendous. I'm worried I'm not going to be able to finish my PhD again. And I just want to be left alone to have a life. And work and be a parent and go to my allotment, but even that isn't possible at the moment. So I'm going to sit here and screw up the bits of paper that make me miserable and depressed and angry to try and show what crying data feels like. Because that's all I do. I just sit at a computer and cry whilst I write and reply to emails and gather evidence together and speak to one person to provide evidence for another person. And I just want it to stop. That's why it makes me feel like stopping my life. And because it's never ending. It's never ending. I'm actually finding the process of screwing this paper up quite comforting from a sensory perspective. There's a lot of tactility in my hands, so it's helping me. And I can shape the paper. So I think I'm going to leave it there.